Anthony on Air Podcast back for another episode. Thanks so much for joining us. On this show, we're going to be discussing tons of stuff, including Jean-Luc Brunel. We found out that he was suicided on Saturday. Yes. We did a special episode for that. In case you missed it, we'll put links all around. But we're going to talk about the fact that he was apparently suicidal for a long time. Why was he not on suicide watch? The parallels between him and Epstein continue. Plus, Prince Andrew is being mocked by Buckingham Palace staff. They have a nursery rhyme they've been singing behind his back.
Oh, do we know what it is?
I will sing it for you. It is quite lovely.
Excellent.
Maybe the scariest thing that I've ever seen, the new scary thing that I'm now afraid of, is Havana Syndrome. Have you heard of this?
Oh, boy. I heard the name. I heard the word. I don't know anything about it.
60 Minutes did a big documentary piece on it, and I will review it. It is terrifying. Plus, the Queen and Bieber have COVID. Coincidence? We think not. Fox News is doing better with Democrats than Democrat channels on cable news. Patrick Mahomes has a public spat with his girlfriend. Truth Social is off to a nightmare start. Hank the Tank is causing chaos wherever he goes. Putin declares pro-Russian states in the Ukraine. They have a right to freedom. Interesting. Matthew Perry is promising a juicy memoir. We have a Texas teen that is saved by Starbucks. I call BS. And, of course, your fan feedback. And
That's true. That's just for the viewing people.
Just for the viewers.
That was, I wasn't counting, but that's at least 12 topics. It's a lot of topics.
A lot of topics. So let's go, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's move through it.
Let's go. Let's light this candle.
Jean-Luc Brunel, big show on Saturday. Woke up Saturday morning, got some information, checked the Twitterverse, blowing up like crazy. We did a podcast. I want to thank everybody who joined us for that one. Jean-Luc Brunel found dead in his cell from an attempted suicide, or I guess a successful suicide, if you are to believe that kind of a thing. And we started, asking some of the questions again. I'm not going to go over everything. Watch the last episode if you missed it. But now we get the report from his lawyer that since he was arrested in Paris at the airport trying to hop a flight out of France, he has been reportedly had several suicide attempts.
See, someone like that, you would think immediate suicide watch. I mean, especially if they have attempted it before.
Yeah.
Come on. What are we doing here?
In France, they call it emergency protection. We call it suicide watch, as Frank just said. But the Miami Herald is reporting that he was not on emergency protection. If he had been, he would have been placed in a special cell. He would have had everything had around corners, paper clothes, terrible bed sheets, the whole 9 yards to prevent inmates from hurting themselves. But Brunel was not on suicide watch. So why?
Why indeed? What's weird is that, I mean, he attempted it a couple times before, and that, you think if he was a target, I mean, I guess they knew he was trying to, that would be a perfect cover. If this is a big conspiracy and they did do something to him, someone, then there's your cover. The guy was suicidal, see?
Yeah, basically. Early on, his lawyer said, and we talked about this on Saturday, that this wasn't from remorse, but it was from the deep injustice that he felt. So he still maintained his innocence throughout. And for people who don't know, Brunel, who was in that famous picture on the airplane, that was the cover of the episode on Facebook and YouTube, if you guys are watching, he had been like a big time fixture in Epstein's circles for the longest time. Traveled to the friggin' the island with them, and it was with Ghislaine all the time, and this and that. And he was a talent scout. He's a model talent scout. He ran a modeling agency in Paris, and people were sending me all kinds of stuff. And thanks to everybody who did that. I watched a 60 Minutes piece on him that they did in the 90s, talking about how horrific he was, and all the other modeling people. That whole industry is just filled with shitbags.
Every time I hear an interview or read an interview with any former model or whomever, they're always like it's a weird, crappy industry. And why do if I could go back, I wouldn't get into it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's never, oh, I had the best time.
Yes. Never.
It's always a weird, creepy industry to be in.
I had a family member who was in the industry, and I don't remember too many details on what she said, but she just said that it was just horrific. Like, and she said most of the, like, none of them eat. They're all kind of on drugs. It's like this just weird, and it's like you're just ripe for the taking. And if that's the kind of environment that's created.
And there was this one interview. I forget who the model was, the ex model. She was saying like, oh, you just it's not. It's like, so they treat your nudity as casual as if you're with clothes. It's like you're just naked for no. They just take your clothes. You put these on, and it's just a bunch of people all around. It doesn't matter, and
yeah, it's weird.
It's very. It needs to be looked into.
And I always thought, here's the two things. I always thought that the pencil thin skinny girls. I never got that. I was like a girl with a little curve on her.
I don't understand why you would want. I mean, I get you put your clothes on whoever you want, like if you're a designer, but wouldn't you want your clothes to cater to the average person?
Yeah, never. Because I think in that industry you have to create like want and desire and FOMO, and you have to make people feel bad so they strive to buy these things, and then I think that's what they do. I don't know, it's weird.
Like if I was a designer, I would be like, average people walk out and wear the clothes. This is what you'll look.
Yeah.
This is what it's gonna. This is how good it looks, and you could wear the same thing. But I think a lot of the clothes that you see, how you see these crazy whacked out clothes that no one would ever wear on the street. That's the other thing. Like, why? It's like more of an art exhibit than anything.
Some of it, yeah. Some of it is creating. I love how we've gotten into critiquing the fashion world. Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody who knows about fashion, it's two people
that you're watching. T-shirt kings.
Yeah, seriously. T-shirt kings is right.
I mean, I'm wearing one of them waffle shirts, but other than that.
But yeah, I agree. I think some of it is just kind of creating art and a vibe. But again, this emaciated, underage girl-looking thing, I never, ever got that. Never. I just never got it. Like, you'd look at some of these models and you'd be like, she needs a burger and 4 more years, of aging before you could look at this as like, oh, this is somebody who's like fashion forward or beautiful or whatever. Not that they're not beautiful. I'm just saying, like, it just feels weird that they're...
What image they're trying, like with their clothes,
what
image they're trying to put forward, but... Every time you see these women, it's like,
and the other weird thing that thought that I had too, especially after watching this piece, which was like 20 years old easily, like it was talking about fashion in the early 90s. I think, and I feel like overall Instagram kind of bad, especially for our like teen and preteen girls out there. Once the 20-year-olds, I'm sure, have a hard time with it, but I feel like they're a bit more mature, can handle it better. Could be a little bit rough on the younger girls' Instagram. But I feel like, in a sense, in this particular case, it might actually be better because, like, I watched this thing, Frank, and it was like you had to see all these young girls, and they were like, I knew I had to come to Paris, because this is how they would think: New York and LA, too competitive, right? Too many people. So a lot of these girls from like Florida and Georgia and Minnesota, like all these, middle of the country places, they would go to Paris with the idea of, oh, they can be discovered there. And that's kind of a fashion hub anyway. And there's not as many girls in these cities as there is in New York and California. So I'll just leave my family, go across the Atlantic Ocean, live in some hostel or shack up with like 6 other women as I try and, please these fucking pedo, weirdo, middle-aged men. It seems so unsafe. And I looked at that and I said, boy, I tell you what, right now, girls are not doing that. They're probably doing some unhealthy things trying to make it on Instagram, but at least they're not being preyed upon, And I'm sure there is some preying going on Instagram, but it's a bit safer when you're in your hometown, trying to get discovered, taking pretty shots, than hopping on a friggin' plane and leaving your family,
in the middle, God knows where to meet industry full of strangers. You don't know who the hell you're running into.
Yeah, super, super weird. So, um, lots still to come on Jean-Luc Brunel. The camera situation. I read things that the cameras were not, again, there's no camera footage. He wasn't on suicide watch. There's no thing. I read things that there is. I don't really know. I feel like, this happened Saturday morning. It's been 2 days, really. Let's find out what the story is here before we move any further. But we were playing around with this conspiracy theory idea, Frank, which isn't all that conspiracy-ish, which is if there was, because here's the thing that kind of settled in, especially after the podcast on Saturday. We pointed it out, but it really kind of, as I was thinking more about it, I was like, wow, this is really kind of crazy. This guy winds up dead 1 week after Prince Andrew settles with Virginia Roberts Jeffrey after she says, I will not settle with this guy.
Right.
Like that I wonder like how much of the pressure got turned up on her where she was just like, okay, these people aren't fooling around. Let me just let's take this deal while we got it.
You think that could be a possibility?
It's awfully strange how it's like, let's put a damper on all this right now. And,
yeah.
She settles, he turns up dead, and suddenly it's not so damning, at least for the royal family and Andrew. I mean, especially these two, because Brunel and Andrew, France and, and England, they're close. They obviously associated with one another. Just kind of odd timing. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, it really makes a lot more sense now that she would settle after just talking about for months that she wasn't going to. I wonder if somebody put the screws to her.
You never know. I mean, you'd like
more so than she's probably had the screws been put to her,
Yeah, you never know. But who knows how far people's reach can go, especially when you're that high up in whichever society. But this guy, I mean, suicidal, couple attempts, and then goes through with it. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it isn't. We don't know. For sure. We don't know for sure. You can make all assumptions you want, but we don't know what the hell.
Right. Could be these guys just literally couldn't handle
being themselves.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to catch up to you after a while, no?
Yeah, it's got to weigh on your conscience, I'm sure.
Although I tell you, I watched the Cosby documentary, the W. Kamau Bell. We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby. That's on Showtime.
Okay.
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. It's a 4-part documentary. Part 1 is basically the documentary. And then at the end, as he's like wrapping up this movie, because I think it was just supposed to be like a documentary movie, he gets released. So he's like, okay, this changes everything now. So parts 2, 3, and 4, for anybody who's going to watch it, is literally just an expanded version of part 1.
Right.
Because you learn not that much more, but they do go more in depth into some of the topics. But you hear from some of these people and they're like, everybody on that show knew. He would have like modeling agencies come down and literally put a row of models in the studio audience for the Cosby Show.
Jeez.
And then he would meet him afterwards. There were so many people that were like not even actors, but they were like models, whatever. And they get a call like, oh, Cosby wants to give you like a 3-show arc on the show. And they'd be like, oh, okay, it's the biggest show on the planet. Like, why not? And then he would try and do something. He was just like a crazy, crazy, bizarre guy.
Good Lord.
And like, just power, and it's funny because they were saying throughout the whole thing, here's a guy that could probably get anybody he wanted. And he still was doing this stuff. It's a weird perversion.
I'm surprised more names haven't come out. Like you said, they would send these women down and fill up a row of seats. Who would send these women down? And who? Yeah. Did they know what was going on? Or did they just think that he just wanted pretty girls in the front row? Or did they know what was happening after? Who knows? Surprised a lot of names didn't come up.
They alluded to the fact that there's a ton more names than have actually come forward. And that like there was like a lot of people that knew, like this one guy Skippy or whatever the hell, Punchy, whatever his name was, that was like his assistant, that like he would be the one who would like, do everything. down to the point that when he was after Hannibal Buress made the joke, and then people started talking about it, he was doing some art show thing because he just kept people forget like for like a year or 6 months or whatever, he just was doing whatever he wanted, like acting like nothing was wrong. He had a tour planned, if you remember. I remember that he had a tour. He had tour dates still, and he was doing interviews for this art thing. And this reporter was like, "I have to ask you because it's it's in the news and blah blah blah." And he goes, "No, we don't talk about that." Was his response. And then when he wrapped up the interview, he said, "I would appreciate it if you don't put that in there." And he's like, "Well, you didn't really say anything." He's like, I don't want any of it in there. And then so he goes, the reporter goes, "Well, I'll tell my editors," and because you didn't really say anything. So he's like, "No, but if you're a man of substance, if you want to be respected as a reporter, you'll make sure it doesn't go out." And then some producer starts talking, and he starts talking to her, and then he talks to the guy, the old white guy, and he's like, "You need to talk to their people and make sure that he's like, I think you should call them right away." Like
Jeez.
says it was so like
Did they leave it out?
they did initially, but then after the avalanche, remember this was right before after the avalanche, they later released that footage.
Yeah, hindsight. They didn't know, I guess, what the hell any of it meant yet.
But I guess the vibe was like, oh, that's Cosby just kind of like cheating on his wife. Nobody knew that he was like drugging people and forcing himself on them. It was messed up. I do love a good nursery tease, and that's what we have here with Prince Andrew. But first, let's talk about Jumpstart Coffee Company. We had a lot of people jump in on Saturday and order Jumpstart off the Jean-Luc Brunel podcast. So I want to thank those people for that. Great coffee, great cause. Save 15% when you use the promo code AOA15. When you click the link in the description below for this episode, Frank Sport and the Dark Roast Blend right there, which is one of our faves. Medium roast. They got the espresso blend, the decaf as well. So many great flavors, and just the taste is phenomenal. I should save this for fan feedback, but we maybe we'll come back around and talk about it. But the kind words that people have for us all the time just continue.
Yeah. The dark roast, definitely my favorite so far. I haven't tried them all yet, but the dark roast, it's got so many flavors. It's very good. It's just chock full of. It's rich.
Read that flavor description there, Frankie. See,
it's big body, dark chocolate, and smoke, and it lives up to the hype. It's very good. No, this one is definitely up there on my list. This is number one in the bunch. I love the medium roast too, but this one goes first for me so far.
I have to go look. We'll put it in fan feedback, but somebody just wrote the nicest thing about their Jumpstart Coffee Company. Nice. Basically, the sentiment was, I knew it would be good, but I can't believe it's actually this good. And that's what everybody says, because it really is that good.
It is. And not only that, Navy SEAL Foundation gets half the profits.
Boom.
Right. I mean, not only are you getting the best coffee, but you're helping out the Navy SEAL Foundation, which is amazing.
50% in honor of 50 Cent. Not a lot of people know that. That's why they chose that number.
You see?
Yep.
Not just a clever name. And also AOA 15, when you buy it, gets 15% off for you every time you use it. Every time you use the code.
I'm going to find that nice comment. Stay tuned for fan feedback. Thanks to Jumpstart Coffee Company. Again, link in the description.
So can you sing this nursery rhyme?
So here's the nursery rhyme that people, supposedly the staff, this is from a source. This is from Buckingham Palace staff.
This is going on now. Like, this
right
wasn't happening when he was, this is back. This is now.
This is right now because he settled. They believe for 12 million now is kind of the number they're settling on, as that's what the payment was.
Okay.
And so it's an old nursery rhyme, and it is: the grand old Duke of York, he had 12 million quid. He gave it to someone he'd never met for something he never did. That's the nursery rhyme that they're rapping back and forth to each other behind his back.
That's a weird. I mean, I'm sure in a mocking way, right?
Yeah.
They're not like saying, "Oh, he never met her and never did it."
No.
He's like, "Yeah, never met, never did." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder how the tune is. What the tune is.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure it's lovely in an English accent.
Mm. Yeah, that is it's very accurate. 12 million quid. I don't know what that translates to in.
Yeah, I don't know what the English people call their money quid. That's such a great name for money. Quid.
Quid.
12
Let's
million
see.
quid.
I said quids to dollars.
Dollars to donuts. Look that up next.
Okay.
What is going on? I can't fix this.
I know. I saw you struggling there a bit. You want to pop out, pop back in? Janine's sideways. I don't know what's
That's
going
what she
on.
said. That's
Her
what she
setup
said.
there. All right.
So it's about $16 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's about what we said it was in real American money. Get with it, the rest of the world.
Yeah, right. You're an idiot. What do
All
they
right.
use in Australia?
I don't know.
It's the same as England?
I think they have an Australian dollar. I applaud the nations that just
Better.
call their stuff dollar.
I think it's Australian dollar.
Yeah. I like that. Like we'll have the Australian dollar. It's like, okay, it's a dollar.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but dollar is its own thing. Could be Australian quid.
Quid's good. The Canadians, they're crazy. Besides locking up free truckers, animals, they call their, what do they call that? They have a toonie.
Toonie.
They have
It's
a
cute.
toonie. It's like a $2 coin, I think, and they have a couple of other weird looking ones.
It's adorable.
Yeah, they got good names for their money.
Jay Sabs, how you doing?
J Sabs is back.
Yo.
What's up, J Sabs?
What up? Well, I'm glad to be off on President's Day.
Hey, listen.
I guess
Biden's
you don't
not my
celebrate it.
president, so we're
Exactly.
working on President's Day.
I guess, right. I'm not off either because of that too. So thanks.
We're all off.
So it's my own fault, basically.
I
See?
tweeted earlier, and I stand by this, and I would love it if anybody can answer this question for me. But if Joe Biden is, quote, not my president, end quote, do you recognize President's Day? And I am asking for 50% of my friends. So if somebody could give me a hint on that, because I want to respect everybody, J Subs. That's my thing.
Well, honestly, like I haven't really heard not my president for Biden, but I've heard it for Trump, for the people who didn't like Trump.
Yeah, because they were louder, but there's not my president people for Biden.
Yeah.
I passed a bumper sticker just yesterday that it was like, Trump won, we all know it. That was the bumper sticker. I just appreciate that so much.
President's Day is not to honor all presidents.
Yes, it is, Frank. Don't make things up.
It's George Washington and Abraham Lincoln's combined
Fake news.
birthday.
Now you're saying they have the same birthday? That's a lie.
No, you're an idiot.
We just combined it.
We celebrate both birthdays on one day.
So we're making it up. It's all a lie. Fake news.
Sure. That's
I
what
think-
I would say.
I think President's Day should celebrate the greatest president we've ever had. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Reagan.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Havana Syndrome? This is my new thing that I'm freaking out about.
Okay. What happens here?
Full-blown panic over this Havana Syndrome. So 60 Minutes, which I feel was created just to haunt my nightmares. They did a 30-minute piece. They took half of the show, Frank. Half of the 60 Minutes.
And they donated it to the Navy SEAL Foundation?
I wish they would have. We'd all be in a better place. They put it towards this Havana Syndrome. So what did... Go ahead.
Is it you keep singing that song? Havana, na, na, na.
Get stuck in your head.
That was a syndrome for a while.
Yeah, it does. You get stuck
No
in the head until
thanks.
you kill yourself. No. All right. So this is what Havana Syndrome is. And this is how it's described. I'm going to read the Wikipedia definition. Havana Syndrome is an alleged set of medical symptoms with unknown causes experienced mostly abroad by U.S. government officials and military personnel. The symptoms range in severity from pain and ringing in the ears to cognitive difficulties, and were first reported in 2016 by U.S. and Canadian embassy staff in Havana, Cuba. Beginning in 2017, more people, including U.S. intelligence and military personnel and their families, reported having these symptoms in other places such as China, New Delhi, India, Europe, and Washington, D.C. The cause and
explains Trump.
validity of the illness has yet to be determined.
That explains Trump.
How will you stop?
The cognitive thing. No. So this is the new thing now? Is this like, how does it spread? Do we know anything else about it?
Okay, so this is what they're saying, and I watched interviews with a bunch of the people. Okay, staff members from the Trump administration, like not like like not political staff members, like people that were just there to do the dirty work. They're there to
the paperwork and stuff.
They do the grunt work every day. Yeah, they do the real work that the politician-y people take all the credit for.
Right.
This one young lady was walking out of the EEOB, which is the Eisenhower built. This right next to the West Wing, because they can't fit everybody in the West Wing, so they got the Eisenhower building there. And she's walking down the stairs. So she's in what they call the security perimeter of the White House. She gets a sharp pain on the side of her head. She loses her ability to balance herself. Okay. Nearly passes out. Crazy headaches. Makes it past the West Wing to where her car is. Just continue, like she didn't know what was going on. Gets in her car, goes home. Doesn't know what the hell it is. Doesn't think anything about it. Like close to a year later, she's walking by the Ellipse, which is like on the I think the south side of the White House. Same thing in the security perimeter. Boom, gets hit with it again. Same thing.
Oh, really?
Pain to the side of the head, crazy headache, this delusionness, exhaustion afterwards. Like the effects were like forever. Talked to another guy. Same exact thing. He was going on a trip to China before he even got on the plane. Boom.
Damn.
Heard a noise. Oh, I forgot to mention she heard a noise. Hears a noise. Pain in one spot on the head. So much so that he said that when he turned his head and like moved around, he could feel it like waning and moving as he turned his head and tried to avoid it. And he was like, I don't even know if I could jump on this plane and handle this, handle this thing. Okay, that was the second guy. Third guy, his family. He's with his family. I forget where they were. Somewhere abroad. They might have been in an embassy or whatever. No. I'm sorry. They were here. He worked for an intelligence agency here. They wouldn't say which one. He felt it in his home. Ooh. His wife felt the same thing. Okay? So they got all freaked out, whatever. They moved to another location. Him, his wife, and his two kids, got a girl and a boy. He's sleeping. His wife springs up. She's hearing the noise. Then he starts to hear it and feel the symptoms again. Pain in the head, everything like that. They rush into their kids' room. He sees both of his kids sleeping, kicking the sheets, violently moving around in their beds as they're sleeping. They're not up. He goes over to his daughter. He puts his head near hers, and he hears like the sound of running water. Picks up his daughter, brings them into their bedroom where they were, goes back into the kid's bedroom, grabs his son, puts his head near his head. Same thing. Sound of running water in his right as he puts his head next to his head. Picks his son up, moves him into the door. It was so bad, he went to the FBI, and the FBI decided that they were going to move them to a secure location where nobody would know where they were. And they're still dealing with like crazy symptoms, some of these people. And then the other person that they spoke to was one of the people who was working for an intelligence agency. Again, they wouldn't say. And he was down in Cuba when this first happened. And he said that a number of people in that embassy had this all the same. Every one of these people are telling the same exact story. Aliens. It turns out there is this technology that's out there that's what would they call it? Microwave. Hang on. I'll come up with it. Anyway, it's like a microwave, like emitter. Pulsed electromagnetic energy and ultrasound.
Ooh.
From microwave pulsed electromagnetic energy and ultrasound is what they think it might be. And they're basically now saying, so they had, I forgot the guy's name, John Bolton.
Michael Bolton's brother. Go ahead.
Bolton's brother. He was basically saying, how can I go on without you? No. He was saying that they think now because of the security, they said that one person who experienced these symptoms as well was in a cabinet level position. Wasn't in the Trump cabinet, but in a cabinet level position, which is a different security clearance, which then would put this into an attack sort of category, that this was an attack on the country.
So this isn't a disease or an illness of any kind. This is a reaction to some sort of technology that apparently is out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Do you want to hear the sound?
Yes.
No.
I'm watching this story, and CNN, the guy Scott Pelley, good. I feel like he's one of the good journalists we got. He's like, we're gonna play the sound for you, and I'm like, where's the fucking remote? Like,
Someone throw your shoe through the TV. Yeah, I don't want to hear this sound. Put a link to it or something.
I definitely want to hear it.
Put a link to it in the description. I don't want to hear this thing, because then I feel like I'm either gonna get it, or it's gonna mess with me, and I think I'm gonna get it. Like I think I have it.
Well, that's why I feel like I have it. So that's
I feel like I want to hear it so I can see if I've heard it before.
Well, I mean, spoiler. I'm gonna play it for you, but
tell me when you play it. I'm taking the headphones off.
Come on, Frank.
I can't even take it. You're such a wimp.
Thank you.
Hang on. Let me bring it up for you. It's not. It sounds like a. Let me bring up the 60 Minutes report here. It sounds like you would think it would sound like this sort of radioactive, like high pitched. Yeah, like high pitched buzz kind of a thing.
So this is the sound that allegedly these people hear right before they get hit with the pain.
Yes.
It's let's see, live on air. If I'm getting pain,
they just came up with it based on reports from people.
Oh no. Okay, no.
Where did the sound come from?
One of the guys that got it recorded it.
Oh, so it's an actual sound here.
It's an actual sound. Correct.
Oh, so it's gonna. No, I don't want to hear it. It's the sound that makes you fucking get a huge sharp pain in your head.
No, but you're not getting the attack doesn't come from the sound. It comes
from the waves and
the
shit
waves.
That come from, yeah, I get it. I still don't.
And you had the guy in Cuba goes, all the fucking dogs in the neighborhood started barking like crazy. And next thing I know, I got this head trauma.
You ever see there's these videos all over YouTube where like mysterious sightings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But some of them are mysterious sounds, and you hear these people are like, they're either in their houses or wherever they are, or they're in the middle of nowhere, and they just hear these weird, couldn't be made by anything that they know of or in the area sounds, like these like these weird pulsating kind of crazy. It sounds like monsters in the distance, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" And
pulsating just got Janine all hot and bothered.
I'm like, say that again. Play it right now.
Right.
All right, here it is. You ready?
I'm not listening. I don't
Oh my god.
I don't want to hear it.
You think he could hear me now? Say pussy.
I can't hear anything.
Pussy.
Which is not what does the harm.
Yeah, like this.
Here's what he recorded.
Make it stop.
The injured official.
Stop.
I kind of heard it a little, but yeah, that's.
Oh, Frankie, you're not looking so good.
So what happens to these people? They just get massive headaches and they get all dizzy and weird.
Yeah, this one guy is in like physical therapy because he keeps fucking falling over because he doesn't have his balance anymore. He's so fucked up. Oh my god.
There's a lot of stuff like that. Like you hear
aliens. I'm telling you, it's aliens.
There's sounds that could just mess you up. There's a theory that you ever hear the brown note theory?
What's the brown note theory?
That there's a certain note or certain sound that could make you shit your pants.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody how actually real it is, but I've seen it.
Is this real or is this just something your brother told you after he shit his pants? Because
that's possible. I think he has it playing on a loop in his head. But no, that's an actual. I don't know if it exists. I don't know if it's just a conspiracy theory or what. But I've heard of it. That's all.
Look at this guy. This is one of the guys that was in the 60 Minutes report. If you ever wanted to know what Bill Gates and George W. Bush's kid would look like if they fucked.
There he is.
Definitely looks like George Bush.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
The not cute version.
All right, so I'll put a link to the full. It's a half-hour report on 60 Minutes. It's fucking fascinating. And now, all right, so I know this has only been out for a day, but I'm like, I look at it and I go, this has 380,000 views on YouTube, plus whatever, who was ever watching on 60 Minutes. Like, this should have 1 trillion views. Like, how are more people not talking about this and fucking panicking about whatever the hell this is and whoever the hell is using it? Because either way, it's not good. It's either, okay, so here's the other thing. This is what fucking 60 Minutes. You know who's got this technology? The United States, Russia, and China. Great. That's so fucking wonderful.
We're good. We're good.
Should be fine then.
And if it ain't them, it's fucking aliens, like Janine said before. So I don't know.
Definitely aliens.
Doesn't sound like a good thing either, whichever way you slice this little cookie.
No, it could be better. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things with the people with sounds and like waves. Fuck you up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm a fairly decent judge of character. I'm watching this one guy, and he's talking about it, and so Pelly's, asking him questions, and he turns around and he goes, dude, this is my worst nightmare. He goes, I picked a job where nobody would know who I am, and I could, work for my country. He goes, you think I want to be on, this, telling everybody that I can't stand up and do all these things? He's like, I'm only here. And so basically, and they all kind of had the same thing. The government is not really recognizing that this is an issue. Bolton was like the first one. And I shouldn't say that. The new guy who took over the CIA tripled the amount of people that they have working on this.
Wow.
Because they were kind of like, oh, okay, we'll throw Phil, the fucking, the idiot on the case. And he's the only one that's been on it. So this guy added some more people. But basically, the government has been refusing to acknowledge that this is a real thing. I don't know I don't know what the reasoning is, but it's not just Trump, because it was happening in 26. It was happening at the tail end of Obama's administration into Trump's administration.
Well, at least there's a telltale noise. It's not a silent thing, and you don't know when it's going to.
Well, that's the creepy thing. The one dude took his phone out and started recording it and actually captured it. That's creepy.
I thought when you said they heard a noise, I thought it was something wrong with the hearing or a muscle, something in their head, like tinnitus.
Yeah.
They heard like a ringing and they went down or something. But this is a noise that anybody could hear. So what was the noise with the rushing water?
I don't know. He just said,
could have been Chinese water.
It could have been. That's true. We shouldn't assume. You're right, Janine. Good point. But he said that when he put his head closer, he can feel it. Here's the other thing I left out because I just
didn't get
remembered.
That for a second, but I said rushing water. Okay.
Yeah, you got it now.
Yeah, I know. It hit me a second later. I'm like, what? Chinese? Oh,
what's she talking about again?
He said that when he woke up, he felt his body vibrating.
Okay, definitely. I need to go to Cuba and get this right now.
I don't think you want this.
Janine's like, point this at my crotch.
Oh boy.
Anywhere, I'll come and get it for myself.
It's gonna be the headline tomorrow. Women rushing to get Havana Syndrome.
Yikes.
Women standing on the most southernest tip of Florida with pelvis stretched out towards Cuba.
Grabbing their ankles, facing the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, so how creepy is this shit?
Yeah, it's messed up.
I mean, it's creepy, but you know what? It's aliens.
So
although aliens wouldn't let you record that sound, so come back to me.
How do you know?
Because I know my aliens.
Oh, okay. So if there was a vaccine to prevent the Havana Syndrome, and you could hear the noise and it won't affect you, would you take it?
Yeah, but can you still spread it? That's the question.
Aha.
That's the
but
question.
It won't be as bad.
I don't know. A friggin' disease that is only really affecting government officials. That's putting these people out of commission. That's targeting specific government officials that only China, Russia, and the United States have access to. Like, I mean, this is
that we know of.
That we know of.
So apparently, Cuba. Some of this originated in Cuba?
Well, the first people to complain about it were this has nothing really to do with Cuba, other than the first people to complain about it were in the United States Embassy in Havana.
Right.
So that's why it's called the Havana Syndrome.
All right. Hey, great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. We didn't have enough stuff to worry about. We needed this.
Sorry. The Queen and Bieber have COVID. Bieber cancels his tour, and the Queen... I don't know, gave her son money to settle a lawsuit.
That's what COVID does, I guess.
You think Camilla's trying to kill the queen? Because that's what I think. Because Prince Charles had it first.
I thought that you were trying to insinuate that the Queen and Bieber banged it out, and that's how they got it.
Maybe they did. I heard Bieber's into some weird shit.
Bieber's into old Beaver. Gross.
Do you think that the Queen of England is like for lack of a, pardon the pun, the crown jewel in like granny porn? Like, is that like the hottest thing
maybe.
for people who are into granny porn?
You think that there's like a whole segment of society they like dress up like the queen?
No, I'm saying like, you know how like Brad Pitt is like a sex symbol, and you
think she's the ultimate granny?
Is she the prize? Like in granny porn, like you know how whenever like somebody makes it big or starts getting popular, there's some porn star out there that kind of looks like them. That's like they make like this is Ariana Grande, and it's totally not, but it kind of looks like Ariana Grande. Do you think there's like a queen out there?
That's exactly what I know what that is.
We'll have to ask our viewers and listeners.
Well, I'm trying to until Janine was rude enough to cut me off. Like, Frank's into granny porn, so that's why I was trying to get an answer.
Yeah, if anybody out there is into this, let us know.
Yeah, anybody like
is it like well, it's Patrick Stewart or who are the top old person?
Oh, like old guy? Patrick Stewart's a good one.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian McKellen too.
Harrison Ford. He could get it.
He's in his 70s, I think.
Yeah.
70 something. Yeah.
Don't you think you should ask me? Hello.
Why?
Just because, you know.
Who was I asking?
You guys think I'm into old guys.
No. We know you're into old.
Oh, okay.
You've
Harrison Ford,
many times.
The expression on Harrison Ford's face is always like, "Oh, did I just pee myself a little?" That's always the expression on his face. Yeah, like, is there pee in my underwear? I'm not entirely sure if there is or not.
Chewie, we gotta get the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, you know who I'm obsessed with now is Patrick Mahomes and his girlfriend.
What is happening there?
Okay,
I don't even know who that is. Do I?
Patrick Mahomes, the guy from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh no.
You didn't hear about all this? We don't really talk about it too much, but Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend supposedly is annoyed the shit out of everybody. When he won one of the playoff games, she like squirted champagne all over people like that were underneath the box, you know, the
like down onto
box.
the
Yeah, and his brother is super annoying. And then his wife and his brother got together and they were annoying the shit out of people. It was just a nonstop annoying fest.
You know what's annoying me is that mullet in that shot.
Well, that's the Patrick Mahomes mullet. But in this clip here that's on Instagram, which we'll give credit to whoever this is, but this is like on every fucking Instagram. This is Hurdles. So credit Hurdles. Thanks for the video. But literally 400 people have this. He's at a basketball game and he's in the front row and they got the camera on him and he whispers something to his girlfriend and her reaction is not great. And then she makes a face and turns around to her girlfriend who's just off camera here and says, "Patrick told me no more resting bitch face." And then she makes another face and then he hears it and he has a bit of a reaction to it. So here, take a look. So they're talking. She says something. They're talking. He'll whisper. Here, watch. He'll lean in and whisper in for a second and say something to her. Here, wait. There, he's talking to her. Watch her lips now. You can see. Watch her lips. You can really see it. She's offended. She's
didn't
clapping.
Sound like it didn't look like that's what he said.
Patrick told me no more resting bitch face. And then she smiles. And then look at him. Wait, watch his reaction. See? He heard it. So he told her, "Stop no more resting bitch face." She got offended, talked to her friend. Her friend said whatever, and then she laughed at it, clearly making fun of him.
Yeah.
And he heard it. Watch her lips. Patrick just told me no more resting bitch face.
I don't think that's what she said.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
And then he heard whatever. Look how mad he is.
I'm trying to read the lips here, and it doesn't look like that's what she was saying.
Yeah,
there.
watch.
It's not what he was saying.
I don't know what he said, or maybe he said something else.
Watch. No more. And then it sounds like something. It looks like
Watch.
something else.
Watch. Patrick told me no more resting bitch face.
That doesn't look like no more resting bitch face. It doesn't.
But then she smiles, like to be like not have like a resting bitch face.
It doesn't sound like that's what she
It
said.
looks like something that I would do 1,000%. So
It looks like she says
Can I
Patrick told me no
falter?
more, and then it doesn't look like resting bitch face.
Okay. Well, let me give you the two things that you're both missing.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes just signed like a $300 quadrillion deal.
Okay.
He's not a horrible looking guy. He's a quarterback. He's got money rolling in. And this, look at her fucking face. I'm sorry. But that is one of the most ugly. I don't know how she landed him.
really?
And
she's
oh, are you crazy?
hit play. She's making a face there, but she's not unattractive.
Are you nuts?
I don't know. I guess we're looking at the wrong thing.
Are you insane? Look
We're looking at the wrong. We're looking at two different people then.
I don't think she said that. Patrick told me.
You think
something.
he's better looking than her?
It's even in the thing. Everybody knows that's what she said. It's unanimously agreed upon that that's what was said.
Well, I think they're wrong because it doesn't look like that.
Just read her lips.
I did.
Wait, look.
Yeah.
Patrick said no more resting bitch face. Wait, watch.
Wait. Patrick just told me. Just told me.
Patrick told me no more rest. He does not just. Patrick told me no more resting bitch face. And then they laugh at him. I think this girl is disgusting. I can't believe you guys are. I think she is
disgusting.
I think she is so fucking. Yeah, she's got a thanks, Cuddles. Worm face.
Worm face.
She's got a fucking worm face. She looks like she should be popping out of an apple.
The red jacket isn't helping.
It's not helping. You're right. Look at that face. Look at her face.
I don't think she's ugly.
And she is ugly. He is
Oh,
far
you
too
guys.
good for her.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I don't think so at all.
Yeah, me and J Sabs are agreeing on this.
Listen, Janine, I don't expect him to be your type. Okay, he's young. He lives in a home. All right, this is not
Right.
down your alley. But she should be grateful to be with
Literally,
this guy.
I knew you were going to say that. And literally down any alley. That's right. He is not really good looking.
You don't think Patrick Mahomes is good looking?
No, this girl's 10 times better.
Are you crazy?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I am. But
The mullet isn't helping.
I did not see this coming. I didn't see this take coming. I thought this would be unanimously agreed upon. I am shocked.
Yeah, she's not ugly, and I don't think. And I think the
What?
wording is. I think it may look somewhat similar
Look at her
to resting
buggy
bitch
eyes.
face, but
like her face there. I think it's just because it's something that I would do with, like I said. So
Okay, here, wait. Look, pay close attention. Do you see? Hold on. This is a
Yeah,
bad. Okay.
can you get a
Like
still
that.
picture of them?
Wait. Look at this. Look. Do you see the guy right behind Patrick Mahomes, the broadcaster who's
Yeah.
hasn't gotten laid in 30 years?
right.
I'd rather lick his asshole after he climbed up a flight of stairs than have to look at this woman for another second.
You're
Oh my
insane.
god.
I think she's ugly. She's horrifically ugly.
all right.
And,
What?
And like the reputation about her is that she is irritating and annoying.
Oh, that's that could be true, but
She's pretty, so it's okay. Can you get a still picture of her?
yeah, like can you Google?
All right, let's
Yeah.
Google. Let's see what we come up with here. Patrick Mahomes girlfriend.
Yeah, it could be resting bitch face, but I don't know. She kind
Oh,
of
wait,
laughed
let's
at
go
it.
to
though.
her
At least-
Instagram.
At least she laughed at it.
Is her name
Yeah.
Brittany Matthews? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's got to be her. There she is with him.
That's her. This is okay. Oh, here's the video. Here's the video of her spraying champagne on people below them. Like nobody. Look at this face. Look at this face. Are you insane?
I can't see it. I have to go look on Instagram. Thanks.
Trust me, she's horrific
Okay.
and annoying to boot.
I could see her being annoying.
Oh, people do not like her. They asked her they were like, hey, do you want to maybe not bring her to games anymore?
I
Come
don't
on.
think she's horrific. Like that's a little much.
What's
Right,
a little much?
Perhaps I went a little too
Saying
far.
that she's horrific.
Oh,
But
oh. I thought it meant the picture. I was like, yeah, they
No,
all take
no, no,
pictures
no.
like that.
They
I
have
just-
a kid together?
I don't know. I guess so.
Wait a minute.
Unless
Let me
that's her
see.
kid.
I don't
Yeah,
think they
look
have a kid together. I think they just found this kid while they were taking a nice autumn walk.
Oh yeah, he is not cute.
Well, this is not a good picture of him.
No.
The baby's cute.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's a good shot of her with the heart. It's a close-up face shot. Or a video, I guess. Fine.
It's a bridal shower. I think they're engaged to be married, maybe.
Engaged to be engaged.
I don't know. This is rough though. I mean, when you have somebody annoying in your corner, that's brutal.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yep.
Don't talk about your wife like that, Frank. That's not nice.
What about you jackass?
Jesus.
You.
All right. Fox News does better with Democrats than the actual Democrat cable news channels. This is unbelievable.
That's interesting.
Credit Bill Maher for this one. Somebody sent me the clip of him talking about this. That's where I first learned about this. But Fox News, of course, which is the most popular news network that we have in the country, averaged 1.5 million total daily viewers and 237,000 viewers in the key 25 to 54 demographic from February 7th to February 13th, finishing as the only basic cable network to surpass the 1 million viewer benchmark and crushed its competition. MSNBC averaged just 1 million viewers during prime time and only 621,000 total day viewers, while suffering in the demo with 114,000 average in prime time and a shocking average of only 67,000 total day viewers.
Ooh.
CNN, meanwhile, created with an average of 444,000 total day viewers, 491,000 in primetime viewers, while reaching just 122,000 in the demo during primetime and averaged 92,000 among total daytime viewers.
So they're saying more people are watching Fox, more Democrats are watching Fox than they're watching CNN or MSNBC.
However, recent data shared by Nielsen show Fox News becoming the preferred cable news channel among Democrats in the key 25 to 54 demo.
That's sad.
The data collected in October of 2021 shows Fox News earning the largest share of liberal viewers in the demo with a whopping 42%, while just 33% tune into CNN and 25% tune into MSNBC.
I bet some of that is, or a lot of that is hate watching. They watch it just because they hate it. Maybe.
Like, look at these guys.
Let's see what these jackasses are saying today. Kind of like the same thing when Howard Stern was coming up. People watched, the haters watched them, and the people who liked him watched him or listened to him.
I will probably, I'll give into that. I bet you there's a fair amount that do hate watch, but also how many people are just fucking disgusted with CNN and MSNBC?
They're all disgusting.
They're all disgusting, but those two in particular are just shit. I can't watch more than 2.5 minutes of MSNBC. I mean, on CNN, you can get lucky, and for like a 4-minute block, not in prime time, but in a 4-minute block, you might be able to catch some actual news. With MSNBC, that just never, ever occurs.
But it's the same thing with Fox. They don't report anything negative about the Republican side, and they report everything. The slightest thing happens on the Democratic side, it's the news of the day.
Yeah, but what does that say? That the Democratic Party would rather watch Fox News for information over their own news networks? This is basically going against the accepted viewing habits of today, where we go, oh, people just tune in to get their own viewpoints justified, and then they just go on about their day.
Right.
This is actually bucking that trend.
Yeah, but what's different is, what's significant, I think, would be that, let's say, all right, what is there, 1.5 million viewers for Fox? Have you said? Okay. There are, what, there was 80 million people who voted for Biden in the last election.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? 2% of Democrats? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small number of Democrats, is what I'm saying.
It's a tiny number.
It's not like all 45% of Democrats are watching Fox.
I agree, but it's a sample size, is what it is. Like if this is what's occurring in this small percentage of the total Democrats who voted.
No, but you're saying 1 million total viewers. That's not the sample. That's the total viewing.
No, I'm saying that as they looked at the audience for Fox News, they've discovered, or as they looked at the total audience of Democrats, they discovered that 42% of that total audience that is consuming cable news is watching Fox.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you were
channels.
saying they took Fox's ratings, which was 1 million.
No.
And said this amount is okay.
So out of everybody who submits to the Nielsen ratings, they'll ask you, are you a liberal? Are you conservative? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? And they answer these questions when they go ahead and judge their view. How old are you? Where do you live? You know, suburb, city, urban, whatever. And so they came to these are the numbers that they came to the conclusion of.
Right.
Which in the clip, Bill Maher raised an interesting question, and I find it to be true too. Has the left gone too far with woke cancel culture and all of their fucking bullshit about how you can't say this and you can't say that, and we've got to cancel this one and cancel that one, and we need tighter restrictions on COVID, and you know, all this kind of crazy shit that's going on? Have they gone too far? Has the media turned itself like are the CNNs and the MSNBCs of the world helping to kill the Democratic Party by obsessing over these fucking things? Because I feel like that's all you see on Twitter with at least the liberals. The conservatives, they're in their own delusional world. But the liberals on Twitter are just like, how do you feel about this? What do you think about this? And then just fucking pounce on you when you don't have the most updated current woke status answer. Then it's just the shame show about how you're a piece of shit and I'm great for pointing out how much of a piece of shit you are.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I don't know if that is a direct correlation with the viewership of Fox, but I think there could be it could be significant.
I think it says something because they can't all be hate viewing.
No.
Right, exactly.
But
I think there's a fair amount of the Democratic party that's kind of like, well, I don't love Donald Trump, but at the same time, I don't want to, I don't want to, because I didn't call somebody they instead of she because I didn't know. I don't want to be fucking dragged through the mud for a week and a half on Twitter.
I hear you. But most of the people aren't in that category. Like regular folk that aren't famous aren't the people who get dragged.
Wait a second, Dylan. You writing a fucking song here? What do you mean regular folk?
I mean, not actors and famous people, celebrities don't really, as far as I can understand it, don't get dragged as much as celebrities do in terms of woke culture.
I don't know.
If a celebrity says something off, then they get dragged. If some Joe Schmo says something, two people might say something. You're supposed to say this, but that goes away.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that. Agree with that, but I think that still the common person does get it. I think the common person does take it on the chin a lot of the time.
Yeah, but I feel like it goes away if they're not famous. It disappears.
There was this other story too. It was in the same episode because you know how the YouTube you watch something and then the next thing comes on. They were talking about how I forget where the hell it was in Seattle or something. They wanted to rename the schools. Oh no, San Francisco. They wanted to rename the schools. They wanted to change all the schools that were named Washington and Lincoln because it was, because our forefathers are terrible. And so they were focusing on this, and they made the biggest stink out of that. And then people went out and voted, and they were like, we don't want to change the names of the schools. Yet they can't the masks in schools is such a more important issue to most parents, and they won't have any sort of vote on that. So they were able to conjure up a vote on changing the name of the school from Lincoln High School or whatever the hell to, whatever. And now, the things that are really important, like they're missing the mark on their own party.
A lot of places are. Yeah, you're right. Can't say it's everywhere, but it's a lot of places have their priorities misaligned.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is very.
It's pretty strange.
They're missing the point of things, and it's so a lot of stuff. Because there's far left and there's far right. I mean, that's sometimes it goes too far on either side.
On both sides, it seems to be the loudest voices are the craziest to the most extreme part of their party.
Well, that's social media for you. And when they're the loudest is not necessarily the loudest. It's just the most most read or most spread around. So when you get someone yelling and screaming on the far right or the far left, they're going to be spread around, and it's the most ridiculous out there statement. And that's what gets spread around. Everybody sees that and thinks that represents everybody. And it's like, oh, this is what the left thinks. This is what the right thinks. And it's just because of a few people throwing around, what they think. And they just happen to be the craziest. So,
right.
Which call me crazy, but I feel like
crazy.
All right, listen up, crazy talking here. I feel like if I was a political advisor, I would tell whatever candidate, just go down the middle and you're going to win. Just talk about things. Just be like, oh, even though it doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, whichever. I would be like, you know what? Go out there and side with the other side a little bit, and you'll be fine. because everybody's like, oh no, I got to go to the base. I have to go to the base, and I got to get to the conservative base. I got to do this. But I bet you there are so many people so fed up with their party on the other side that they'll just be like, oh, I think that person makes a lot of sense because at least they're being honest, and
maybe
I'll just vote for them, because I don't know how much party really means to that middle chunk of the country, which I feel like a majority of the people I know fit into at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think over the past 4, 5, 6 years, party became what?
Janine?
Like me.
Oh. Yeah, because a lot of people I don't think are all that passionate about their party anymore.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't.
Yeah, but you're more passionate now than you ever were.
Absolutely. Before. But 4, 5, 6 years ago, I didn't give a shit. But now it's like all of a sudden party is this one versus this one, and this viewpoint versus that viewpoint, and everybody's involved, and it's a big stinking mess. And it's like, I wish we can go back to the who cares days. I don't want to be wrapped up in any of this. It's like party versus party. Who the hell wants to do that?
Speaking of big stinking mess, Truth Social is out, and it is a nightmare.
It's a shock.
Let me tell you why I'm upset.
Because you joined, and now you can't join yet.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly why. I was all ready to go.
I told you.
I had a plan.
Don't stay away from it.
This was my plan, because it was like Sunday, they started the rumblings like, oh, it's going to go live. It's going to go live. And I was like, okay. No. Saturday, there was the rumblings. It's going to go live on Sunday. I'm like, I'm fucking ready. 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, let me just check it. Because if it's going to go at midnight, maybe it's on already. Go on 11 o'clock at night, it's on. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I'm like, I got my sheet of paper out. I had all the things that I was going to join as, at Anthony on Air, at Liberal Pussy, at Loves Homeless Old Guys, at Hillary Clinton. Like I had all, like I thought, oh, if I'm first to get there and I get at Hillary Clinton, I'm going to fucking murder it on Truth Social. It's going to be amazing. Could not get through on anything. Put my email in, it wouldn't work. Then I put my email in, I got to the next thing, and then that stopped working. Then they were like, we're going to send you a, what do they call that? A certification, whatever, that validation email or whatever. I'm like, all right, waiting. Finally, I passed out. I fell asleep. I woke up Sunday morning. I checked my email. There it is. It came through 3 hours later. What? You know when you put in your email for something and it's like, boom, instantly, like just beeps, pops up and you get it? Mm-hmm. This was 3 hours later. So I clicked the thing. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get it now. Still didn't work.
Yeah, okay.
Overloaded. I don't think they expected, right?
I think
don't- or
that's
maybe they
a big
did.
part of it.
Like, how did they not expect it though? I
I
guess
think
I don't
that
know.
was I don't think that was the issue. Remember back when Trump was saying, "Oh, the what is it? The health Obamacare. Oh, the site was a disaster. Nobody could use it. It crashed and this and that. I could pay someone $5. They could make a better website. This thing, as far as we know, is not going to be up until the end of March.
Yeah, but that's a big difference between putting all your personal health information in versus signing up for social media.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be
That's a good
easier.
point.
It should be easier to do the social media thing.
I don't know.
I think her point is more you should get the healthcare thing right.
Yeah,
That's because that's a
Yeah,
bigger
exactly.
deal.
Fine. Which one's more important? Obviously, the healthcare. But the easier one, if you're talking about which one should be easier to accomplish, you would think signing up for a social media account should be the easiest rather than putting all your health and shit info in there and getting benefits and this and that. That should be more complicated. And yeah, there's going to be problems potentially putting up this thing and going live with it when it didn't work. You think they do test runs on this stuff? I mean, you have to. I could give someone $5 to make a website. It'll work, no problem. What's the problem? Why couldn't they get this thing to work? That's why.
How the hell do you remember everything he says? I don't know how you.
Because
This is
someone's
like,
got to.
What do you mean, high school? Wakatano?
I didn't remember it until this story.
That's
It's not like
true.
I would waiting to say
Chapter
this.
34.
It's not like I'm sitting here waiting. I have a list of stuff I want to say. No, this came up. I just happened to remember that he criticized Obamacare's website. Like, I could get this done, no problem. We'll have the best people, the best website. The first thing he comes out with crashes and it has to be done over again, and it's not going to be ready for a month. So, shove it up your ass. Not you, him.
A month.
End of March, it's going to be until it's.
Is that what they're saying now?
Yeah, end of March, it's going to be up and running.
By the way, in anything you read, did anybody get on it? Because I didn't see anybody that was able
What
to.
number were you?
I don't know. Was there a number?
I have no idea. I think the first key is not to block your entire camera with
What?
your
No, this
laptop.
is good. I like that view. It looks like
Exactly.
she's doing something.
Right.
Like, what is Janine doing? She's up
Oh,
to something.
I don't know, but yeah, it's not going to be. That's what they were saying now. Because what's his name? The guy who's running it, Nunes, I think, or is in charge of it. Devin Nunes is supposed to be a congressperson, but
Yeah, see, I keep getting this. Something. Oh, wait.
What do you keep getting?
It's a little thing that came up and said something went wrong.
It should say like it should give you a number when you sign up.
you know what I think happened?
No, I didn't get a number.
What happened is they named it Truth,
Did.
and then they tried to make it a social media thing, and the contradiction was too strong. It
That's
just
true.
it took the whole thing down.
No, this can't
Impossible.
work.
It's a good point, Frank. The last place that we have truth in this world is any social media network.
Right. So you name it Truth, and you try to have
Never.
Donald Trump make the first post. It's going to crash.
They should have named it "Do Your Own Research." That would have been the thing. That's what you name a social media network,
Right.
Right.
right?
So this is great. We're all looking at devices, and
What?
Hold on, audience. Wait 1 second.
yeah. Wait until we're done looking up stuff.
You
So
hold
that's what
on.
So that's what they're saying. End of March. It was supposed to happen last May or something, right? April or May, and they say that it was coming out then.
They were teasing it for a while ago for a long time, talking like, "Oh, we're almost
And
here."
wasn't it Frank something?
Oh yeah, it was called Frank. Well, there was one. There was one that was called Frank. That was somebody else's.
Oh, okay.
But
The My Pillow guy.
that was it. They're very good, very good.
He made his own social media thing.
Yes, he made his own social media called Frank.
Are we on that stupid thing?
Like, let's be frank. No, I don't think that ever worked. I'm not sure that ever worked. We're only on Parler, and what's the other one?
Ugh.
Getter. I don't know if we've ever posted on Getter. We posted a couple of shows on Parler, and that was really it. It didn't really do
We should make one up called
Good.
Go Ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go Ahead.
Give that man his money.
Go Ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do we have to be on this thing?
Yeah, we got to be on all of it.
You suck.
We're gonna do all of it, my friend. I wonder, I wonder, is this because they got overwhelmed or just because it was shit to begin with?
That's because he hires the best people to do it.
Well, he
I'm
hires the
just
best
repeating
people.
what he said.
He hires the best people.
He does hire the best people.
He just doesn't pay them. That's
Right.
the difference.
He doesn't pay them, and half of them are in jail. So
Well,
that's
I don't
what
know
happened.
about
I think
that,
the guy that was supposed to put this website together is in jail. So that's what happens.
Mhm.
You think he's going to come out with another season of The Apprentice
You know, that's what he should be focusing on. is The
after
Apprentice.
his presidency? That would be funny. That would
Yeah.
be. Who would he
let's
get?
say if he's running again. So after that, he'll be like 90 years old. If he wins, it'll be another. Let's see. So that'll be 6 years from now. So he'll be like 84, 82 or so. I don't know how old he is now. Like 72, 73. So he'll be like 80 years old. I don't think he'll be doing Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, I mean between now.
Oh, now he's got to focus on his campaign if he's going to do anything.
Oh,
No,
like
but
Candace Owens should be one of the contestants. Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll go on there. Couldn't get her within 20 feet of him.
God.
That ain't gonna happen.
I honestly think that he would be. I think he would. Well,
Kill it
I think
in ratings.
He's got a good chance of winning regardless. But I think if he should turn his reelection into an apprentice.
Ooh.
Like the new apprentice. Like remember how the apprentice worked for the Trump organization?
Yeah.
This apprentice should work in the White House, and he fucking does the whole thing. He would fucking everybody would be watching that. He would kill.
And then we just turn the whole thing into a
No, and I'll
giant
tell you,
joke.
I'll tell you the God's honest truth. You know what'll happen? People will watch the inner workings, and they'll get to know, like.
I'm sure he'll show the inner workings.
He'll show his Coke button. Go ahead.
And you know what they'll be saying? You know, this Trump's not a bad guy after all. Look what he's trying to do for Kelly from Vermont and Billy from Montana. Look at them.
Yeah. Okay.
And then every week they give a little something to charity.
Right. I'm sure that'll happen.
That was the best part of The Apprentice. All right, everybody come here this week. Try and call up your friends and raise money for your own charity. And then we'll see who did the best. And then we'll get somebody off. And then the next week it was, all right, everybody, we're trying to raise money for your favorite charity. So call all your friends. It's like, what the fuck are we watching? After a while, you were like, I can't be bothered with this.
What are you looking up?
I'm trying to find that Jumpstart Coffee Company comment. I was like, oh, we're going to use this in the ad next time. And I fucking
Was it in the last episode? Like the one you did on Saturday?
No. No, I don't remember.
Well, way to prepare for the show, buddy.
I'm so annoyed.
I've got a few minutes and then I've got to go.
All right, Janine, I'm going to give you your choice of topic then.
Ooh.
Hank the Tank, Putin, your job escapades, which we have not gotten to, Matthew Perry's juicy memoir, or the Texas Starbucks saves a teen.
Well, obviously I have to go with Putin. This is going to be a long one then, right?
No, not really.
Sorry.
We're going to do Putin, then we're going to make you choose. Putin picked two little locations in Ukraine that are pro-Russian. He's like, yeah, you're okay.
You guys are fine. Yeah, we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
We don't have to invade you.
Yeah. Which is hysterical because I saw a TikTok the other day and it was like, here's a person from Ukraine. And she was like, we love Russia. It's not going to be a big deal. He's not going to attack us. And then she lived in the place where he's like, I'm not going to attack you guys, but the rest of you guys are fucked.
Yeah,
that's basically what he said
good.
today.
I think he already kind of started attacking last I saw. Or
is that right?
Invading anyway. Yeah, it's not looking good. So I think
that's
they're already
tough because, you know, my family's from Ukraine and Russia. So like,
well, Ukraine was part of Russia before 91.
Well, that's kind of what he's saying in all this, right? He's kind of like, hey, this shit was ours. We're just taking it back.
All right, my eyes are so
Well,
itchy.
if we're going back, to the beginning of time, everything was a part of the whatever Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, Ottoman Empire. You can't. Stuff's changed. That was 30 years ago. They're their own nation now. You can't just invade because you felt. He wasn't even president at the time.
Oh, Putin?
Putin.
No, I know, but I think his whole goal is like, oh, I want to put back the USSR. Like that's kind of his shtick. Anyway, Janine, that's all we have on that.
Oh.
Hank the Tank, J. Sab's job escapades, Matthew Perry's juicy memoir, Texas Starbucks saves teen.
All right. I got to do the job escapades, right?
Let's do it. People have been waiting for
Wow.
it. Last fan feedback, people were like, how long are you going to
Sorry. It's been
tease this job
know.
shit? Go ahead.
All right, so fill us in. what she
So,
said.
remember that question I asked? That was, would you do an interview if you knew that you were not going to take the job? Like, no matter what, would you continue to do it?
Mm-hmm.
So I did do an interview for the show just so I can get material. I'm like, oh, okay, just going to do it
That's
for the
nice
show.
of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The sacrifice she does. for us.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because a recruiter contacted me about a job, and one of the questions she asked was, how are you dealing with difficult personalities? And I'm like,
Did you send her a copy of the show?
no, like with work, not with life.
Oh, okay.
And so like I knew immediately there, like I knew it, that it was not going to be good.
Why? Oh, because there's difficult people working there, and you want to know how you'll react to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just one, actually, the guy who I'd be working for.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's it. So I laughed because, as you know, one of my last jobs, you know.
You got a difficult person to work for.
Exactly. So I did an initial interview with the guy's daughter because she works there, and then also someone else. And they repeatedly told me, this is a very tough person to deal with.
Even the daughter
Oh yeah.
said that.
Wow.
How are you with that? Like, have you ever had experience? I told them, and they were like, oh, okay. And then they were like, well, he wants to interview with you. So I was like, oh God, I'm doing this for the show and I have to do another interview. And I was like, okay, fine. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a bitch.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be, but like a little bitchier, you know. Turns out the guy loved me, of course. And I'm like, really?
Nice.
Like,
So
how could
that's
you
good,
even
though.
like someone like me?
Well, that's good. If you could be bitchy and whatever, and he likes that, then it'll probably be easier working for him. And you could just be, it's not like you have to like kiss his ass.
Right.
And be,
So, to tell you the truth, I did not mind him. I was like, oh, this guy's actually, he's not. I mean, he was like, I'm an asshole. And he did say, he came out and said, I'm an asshole, you know. But, I was joking about it. And I was like, yeah, he's not that bad. Well,
uh-oh.
after the call, they send me like a kind of like I won't say the name of the thing that they called it, but it was a guideline of how like they are in the office. Like certain quotes and certain things that they do, and it's very strange. And I'll give you one of the lines was, opinions are like butts. Everyone has one. And I'm like,
that's pretty
what?
common.
But you don't write this on a document that you share with your new employee.
No.
Look at your face. It's just very strange things. And it was 2 pages. And on the second page, it said that I would have to read this document every morning when I started, and that I might be asked questions about it. Now, I'll send it to you.
This is like the employee handbook
They
that
don't
almost every company has when you start. They give you a handbook and
Right.
they say this is what you can expect and blah blah
Right.
blah. But this is like telling you what kind of language they use and what kind of atmosphere it is.
Right.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not like, there's no question in my mind. But the money was pretty good. So then they were like, there's one more interview. It's with the owner's son and 3 more, I guess, bosses. So I was like, okay. Again,
Can you say what kind of place this is? Like what kind of company? You don't have to if it's...
They dealt with people's money.
Okay. Got it.
So, and like plans for their life.
Got it.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say. So this was like a half an hour interview with these people, again, telling me how difficult it is to work with. Like,
That's so weird.
isn't it so weird? Like,
Yeah.
I know you want to, like, prepare people, but then the recruiter called me and she's like, they're ready to make an offer. They want 3 references, but they probably won't call them, but they just, they just do this. And I was like, oh, because then they sent me one less document of how he does things, like how he interacts with his current assistant.
Like his attitude manual?
Yes. And the first line said, when you first see him, let him speak first. And I was like, is this 1950s? Like, it was very strange.
You have to have a martini waiting for him?
Right. Let him speak first.
Wait, when you first see him in the morning, let him speak first?
You can't say good morning?
Like, he wants to tell you what's on his... I was just very strange. So I told the recruiter, listen, do I think I could do the job? 1,000%. Do I want to? No.
It's not worth the headache, probably.
I said, I've dealt with this in my life before, and honestly, it's not worth it. She's like, what if, they offered you more money? And I was like, no, like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I understand.
So you would have been like his assistant, this guy?
Yeah, his executive assistant. But it was just, I gotta show you. I'm gonna send you the document, Frank, because the thing, it's...
I can't imagine, like, doesn't any of this go against workplace?
They had no HR.
There's no HR. There you go. There's the problem.
Well, that's the first question I asked too.
Here's the thing, too, in New York, you could be as shitty as you want to be to your employees. You just can't
get caught.
You could berate them. You could yell and scream at them. You could be as mean as you want. You just can't. It can't be based on sex, religion,
race,
nationality, race. Yeah. As long as you avoid like those particular things,
you're okay.
Hey, listen, no,
you're fine.
You're allowed to reprimand someone, not like yell and scream at someone, but you're allowed to say like, "Oh, you did this wrong. You got to work on this," But you're not allowed to be a condescending asshole.
Yes, you are.
I guess so. You are, but I guess you can be a dick.
Well, his daughter said, if you make a mistake, he will let you know that you made a mistake and why you made the mistake, and we'll go over the problem with you. And sometimes he goes on for more than 20 minutes longer than he should. And I'm like, oh, so he berates and belittles you. Yeah, I want to work here. Just very straight. I don't know. I was like, but I did it for the pod. Okay, I did it for the pod.
Much appreciated.
I do appreciate it. So, but you turned it down?
Yeah, it was
you told him already? No good?
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going further.
How is the money? I mean, like, you don't have to tell us the amount, but like in relation to, like, I don't know, was it as like what you've made in the past, more than you've made in the past, less than you've made in the past?
It was more than I made in the past. It was over 6 figures. So it's
Okay, I saw that face. I saw that face that Frank just made.
So it wasn't 7 figures, obviously.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm counting the wrong. Oh, it's over 5 figures. There you go.
Okay.
So it was 6 figures.
It was in the mid-100 range.
Just to get abused. So the question is would you take a, let's say, $150,000 job just to get abused?
Send my resume there.
Look at Frank is like,
Frank's like, I'll put on a tight mini skirt.
Like, I'll give a crap
and shave my legs.
If this guy yells at me, like, I give a crap what he thinks.
So, but he liked you when you decided to be an asshole. That's so
why not
weird.
just be an asshole with him?
I don't know if I was an asshole so much as if I was just myself and not like, polite and yeah. Yes, sir.
So
my greatest strength is.
Could it have been a situation where you are both like asshole and asshole in training? Like you could have been his right hand asshole?
I mean, I was that last job. So.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
that you would enjoy, that you can enjoy it? No, it wouldn't have been. It's a bad situation all around.
What were the perks though? Did you get like a car? You get
They didn't really go into that so much. And I'm like, okay, well, just you know what it is? The guy was in his 60s, so he has like an older mindset. So he expects
60s is
certain
not much older.
yeah, but
racist,
he's
sexist.
yeah,
Both.
sexist, definitely.
So he walked right out of what's that that show?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep.
Mad Men.
Yep.
Right. He has a bar in his office, probably. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So
in a-
that's
in a-
not a
Oh,
bad person.
you know
for
what's
it.
funny?
In a
Wait,
globe.
He made it like a daddy joke.
Oh no.
Because I said what I did at my other job and how I had to like constantly ask my boss if he had certain things. And he'd be like, yes, yes. And then he said, and did you tell him yes, daddy?
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
was
this-
like, actually, I did. No, what I said was no, but he would have liked that. So then he laughed, and I was like, actually, yeah, a couple of times I did say that, and he's like laughed even harder and like so hard, and I was like,
Jesus.
little does he know that I really did used to say that.
So I'm sure you already know this, and you don't need me saying it, but good thing you didn't work there.
Yeah, he would have like wanted me to like sit on his lap and like type letters for him,
God.
slap my ass when he walked by. When
He's just interviewing you. He's being a creep. Just in the interview.
Wasn't that weird though?
Safe to say I wouldn't get the job.
Isn't it weird that he would say daddy?
Yeah.
Daddy is very strange.
Yeah. That's super creepy.
I mean, I thought it was fucking hysterical, but
Sure, you might think it's hysterical, but that's creeptastic.
yeah, you don't.
If you said that to anybody that wasn't, I don't know how, like you don't take it seriously, whatever. But if someone was like not cool with that, that could have been a huge deal.
That's why there's no HR there.
Exactly. So that's super creepy.
So weird. I don't know. That's a
On
lot
to
of
the
money
next.
It's a lot of money to turn down, though.
It is, but
It's not
then,
worth
like,
being sexually harassed, though.
I made my husband
Yeah,
put
but
on
for
a
3
white
months,
wig.
maybe.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I stepped over Janine's
You're an
line.
ass.
For 3 months, right? I made my husband put on a white wig that night, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Just ask me to call you daddy."
What's different from any other night?
And throw money at me
Yeah.
and ask me to type you a letter and hold my calls.
You got the big cigar and the bow tie. Like, write a letter.
So you basically suffered through it, but for not $150,000 is what you're telling us.
Basically. Fuck.
Yeah.
I just remember that.
Fucked
Yeah.
up the whole thing.
Well, that's it.
Well, good thing you dodged that bullet.
All right,
That's
so
all I'm
let's
saying.
recap before we let Jay Zebs go. So far, penile implant job interview didn't work out, and call me daddy job didn't work out.
And no, we're not saying it was the Call Me Daddy company.
I mean, right.
'Cause that's a real company.
The penile implant, though. I'm going to follow up. Thank you.
Yeah. Based on your last transaction with them, I don't think that's going to work. But you do you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be like, did you find anyone to fit the rod? I mean, roll.
Oh.
But
Right.
Jay Zebs, ladies and gentlemen, there she goes.
Very nice. The escapades continue. On to the next.
And you have a cousin
Interview.
update, but we'll leave that for the next episode.
Oh,
boy.
I do have an update. Quick.
You want to do it?
Up to you.
It's up
Real
to
quick.
you.
He's in Turkey.
Wait, hold on, damn it. Wait a second. We got rules here.
Oh, see, we need a thing. Anthony's got to type his thing, probably misspell it. No,
he
he's
went to Turkey again because, of course, the girl can't leave Turkey.
good. Right.
And he tested positive for COVID, so he had to stay there with her family again.
How's
So
that
he's
Turkey
stuck in
COVID?
Turkey.
What do they got over there in Turkey?
I don't know. He's like, I don't know. It said Tylenol in it, so I just took it. That's it. But he comes back tomorrow.
So he's all cured up and quarantined, and he's on his way back tomorrow.
So
Yep.
he was there for what, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Oh boy.
So
All right. So then he comes back tomorrow. So the relationship continues. They're still going strong.
Why is he coming back? Why didn't he just stay?
I
Yeah.
guess to work. He probably has to do his job.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Didn't he work at like a video store or something? What
No.
was he?
Still got it. A video store.
Does he have a career? What does he have?
Work at a Blockbuster.
He worked at a very prominent lab on the island.
So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Gotta get
Where
on
they
with
make
this life.
penile implants?
Yep. Goodbye.
All right, there's your
All
update,
right.
everyone.
There's the update.
Very
It's
nice.
very exciting. When does he come back? Tomorrow?
Good. Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. Everybody keep your eye out on the airplane reports. Make sure that if you see any issues with an airplane from Turkey,
Yeah.
then you know something's gone down.
This girl's obviously making him happy. Good for him.
Okay. Let's wrap it up here, Frankie C.
Wrap it up.
Hank
Hank the Tank.
Hank
What
the
is this?
Tank. Okay, Hank is a 500-pound. My son would love this story. Hank the Tank is a 500-pound bear,
Cool.
and they cannot seem to stop this bear from just absolutely looting California.
What?
He has up to this point broken into 28 homes in California. 28
Before
homes.
I laugh, anybody dead? Anybody injured?
Before why do you have to laugh? So if somebody died for the story, what's the big deal? Why got to be such a baby?
Hate you.
They're desperately trying to get Hank back into a sanctuary.
They can't tranquilize this bear.
Supposedly they've done so many things. They've like tried to capture him. I don't know if they tried to trank him just yet, but every
Just
single
throw
attempt,
a net over him. Something.
yeah, like locks and all this stuff. It doesn't matter what they do. This bear has been roaming in the South Lake Tahoe in California, and no matter what they do, this fucking bear is 500 pounds. He keeps breaking into these houses, and he's eating like leftover pizza, and he's like,
how long has he been on the run in California?
he's been on the run for. Let me see here. When does this start? 28 homes. Is your wife okay? I feel like I hear her choking in the background.
Anthony's asking if you're all right.
She's upset about Hank the Tank.
Are you upset about Hank the Tank, the bear? A little.
I don't know. I don't know. They don't say how long he's been on the run for, but 28 homes. I would imagine that's
a long time. That's
over a month, unless he's doing a house a month, a house a day.
He could be. Oh, a house a minute. He could walk into a house. He gets scared. He leaves. He goes into the next house.
Mhm.
Doesn't have to do a house a day. He gets 28 houses, and I mean, how could you not? I mean, it's a wild bear, or it's a bear that like escaped from a sanctuary, a zoo or something.
I think it's a bear that escaped. Hold on here. Ann Bryan is the executive director of Bear League in Lake Tahoe, who tells us they're desperately trying to get Hank into a sanctuary. Bryan says
It's a wild
Hank
bear.
isn't dangerous and has simply answered the ring of the dinner bell. The main issue: the new residents in the area have failed to properly secure their trash, and Hank has learned to take advantage of the easy meal.
There you go. It's like a big raccoon. We have a lot of raccoons in our area. If anybody listening.
Well, because they were talking, the Fish and Wildlife was talking about the fact that they're gonna euthanize them.
No, come on.
Too dangerous. That's what they're saying.
You can't just tranquilize them and take them into custody. You gotta
spoke-
shoot them and kill them.
Peter Terra, spokesman for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, told the New York Times this bear has lost all fear of people. It's potentially dangerous situation. Terra says local authorities are trying to trap the bear and possibly euthanize him.
That's so messed up. You can't just relocate them to somewhere, or you gotta just put them down. Why? Because why? There's no reason. He didn't do anything to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That pisses me off.
If we're gonna let Kanye roll around and do all kinds of crazy, we should just let the bear do the same thing. It's
Leave the bear alone. He didn't do anything. He's walking around. He's eating garbage. I mean, it's not like, he didn't break into a school. You can't trank a bear. Aren't there trank guns? You shoot the bear goes down, falls asleep, and you pick him up.
Should be able to.
And how is that not? How is that not like? You think they'd be able to spot him? One phone call. Hey, he's over here. We got him.
Hey, he's
how is
over
this?
here.
Hey, he's in my front yard right now.
I think that call would be a lot more frantic than that.
If I was in my house and there was a 500-pound bear on my front lawn, I'd be like, "Hey guys, I wouldn't
he's
be
over here.
frantic. I wouldn't
Got
be panicking. I'd be like, there's a bear in my front yard, and I'd wait for the authorities. But I can't imagine that it would take. Why can't they just shoot a tranq gun at it? I don't understand that. I mean, 500 pounds. I'm sure it's going to take a lot to take them down, but they've done that before. They could take down large animals with tranks.
We'll see. Keep our eye on Hank the
That's
Tank.
dumb.
The original Hank the Tank, Matthew Perry, supposedly has a juicy memoir coming out where he details feelings for his friends' co-stars.
Feelings?
He says he is not going to sugarcoat the tougher times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested in this?
Yes. The book is going to be titled Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, which will come out in November this year. You know a book is good when they start buzzing about it 9 months in advance.
That's some buzz. That's some hype.
Somebody who's not even pregnant yet is going to have a baby before this book comes out, and they're already like, holy shit, this is going to be something else.
Well, you know what it is. Everybody went nuts over the HBO special. And
Right.
that didn't answer all the questions. So here comes Matthew Perry with a few more answers, and that's what everybody's going crazy about. But what else do we need to know?
And didn't we talk about this, that he was like shit-faced drunk and like not showing up and slurring his words, and they were all
Something
just
was wrong. People were concerned about him in that HBO thing.
And they were all just like propping him up and being like, get in there, big cat. We gotta sell subscriptions for HBO Max.
Yeah, they kind of Weekend at Bernie's him a little bit.
Right. It was a drunk Weekend at Bernie's situation.
So
yes.
Juicy memoir. I mean, I'm sure he had to get permission from the other friends, castmates to.
I don't think it works like that. I think you're allowed to talk about your own experiences.
Even if it involves other real, your relationship with someone or.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think as long as you could back it up and you're not just spreading false information, like they sue you for libel, it's hard to get those things down. A Starbucks barista in Texas feared a teenager might be in danger and came to her rescue. This is the big narrative in the media. Don't trust the media, Frank.
Oh, here we go. Why don't you believe this?
Here's why I don't believe it. Brandy Selim Robertson, who was the mom of the girl who was in the Starbucks, praised the Starbucks employee for stepping up when her 18-year-old daughter was approached by a man she didn't know while studying by herself at a Corpus Christi location. She told the New York Post the man was very loud and animated. The female barista came over and handed the high school senior a paper coffee cup, telling her it was an extra hot chocolate someone forgot to pick up. On the cup, the employee wrote a handwritten message that said, "Are you okay? Do you want us to intervene? If you do, take the lid off the cup." She looked up and just saw a row of baristas staring at her, ready to step in. The teenager didn't need the employees to intervene and let the staff know that she was okay.
Okay. So why don't you believe this?
I believe it, but it's okay. Here's the thing.
Because you're a skeptical
No.
grump that doesn't want to believe nice things happen.
Hurtful, and I'll wait for your apology at the end of my
You'll be waiting for a while.
Summation.
Okay, go ahead.
You're in a store and a teen is being harassed by a loud, crazy guy. How about just remove the loud, crazy guy? What are you going up there with one of these? Here's a cup. If you need help, take off. No, she needs help. She's an 18-year-old girl. Kick the guy out of the store.
Well,
what is this secret message on a cup?
Stop yelling
bullshit?
at me. Stop yelling at me. God. First of all, it didn't say he was crazy. It just said he was what? What were the words? He was loud.
The daughter was approached by a man she didn't know while studying. The man was very loud and animated.
Loud and animated. Okay. They didn't know that she didn't know him or he didn't know her until after the fact, I'm sure. So they wanted to say, "Are you okay?"
They'd just be like, "Hey, you okay? Do you want us to remove this guy? What's the fucking secrecy with the cup? You know what this is like? This is like one of those videos that you see on Facebook. There's like, watch what happens. This couple goes into this Denny's and watch what happens.
That's kind of true.
And it's like dun 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 the music, and then you look at the bottom and you go, "Holy shit! This video is 12 minutes." And for fucking 12 minutes, they drag you on.
I hate that shit.
About what happened, and it turned 3 seconds. Asshole. Yeah, she had the dot, and they call the cops. Done. Over.
Yeah, no, they gotta drag it out. I hate that.
Or she asks for
wait till the end.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah. Hey, get the fuck. They're great. By the way, I'm not slamming the story.
Sounds like you're slamming the story.
They're great stories. I'm slamming the storytelling that is just trying to get people to continue to watch the fucking video for 30 minutes.
Yeah, but this isn't that. It's a Starbucks thing.
It's kind of felt like that. This kind of felt like a little bit like, hey, are you okay? Take the coffee. By the way, I'm not. I think that is a good thing, because here's where that shit comes into play. There's a couple there, and a guy seems like he's being a little abusive, but it's kind of like quiet and like you get a weird vibe. That's when you need that shit. Not when some whack job walks in and some poor 18-year-old girl there is studying and he starts getting loud and animated. You get the biggest fucking barista you have to go over there and tell that guy to fucking leave. You don't just slide over this like secret cup. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
What if it's her dad and she's gonna be fine and this is how he is?
Yeah.
And you know, how do you know? You don't know.
What happened to, hey, if you can't keep it down and behave yourself, fucking Jimmy over here is gonna kick you out, and then we're calling the cops. So,
yeah, that would have been fine. That would have been just fine. But it seems like you're attacking these poor people who just wanted to do something nice, and you're saying that what they did was wrong, and I think that's terrible. And I'm waiting for your apology.
First of all, I think the Starbucks baristas they're all standing there waiting for the signal. Don't wait for this signal. This is like, who was that comic that talked about, what was the guy, Rodney King? There was some comic that was like, he's like, by the way, if I'm getting beaten by the side of the road, even though the camera holding is a nice thing, put the camera down and help me. That's exactly what this is. Like, hold off on the emotional story thing of like, I'll write a message on a cup and just fucking help me. Just help me get the crazy.
Turns out she didn't need the help.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So I see the headline. I'm like, holy shit. Like, what is this? And then you get to the end of the story and it's like, turns out she was okay. And that's it. It just ended.
Well, this isn't TV. This isn't a movie. This is real life. It turns out she was fine. And
that's a shit story. Be honest. That's a shit story.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Because I got annoyed at it.
Right. You're allowed, but you know,
because
they did a nice thing. They didn't cause a scene. They didn't make a big deal out of it because she was
bullshit.
Fine.
Thirst traps. These sons of bitches. First
I'm
of all,
not saying they're not. I'm just saying.
Note the title. It's not Texas Starbucks saves teen. It's Texas Starbucks saves teen. I call bullshit.
So do you think this is fake?
I think it might be fake. But I think also that even if it's not fake, it's just. And by the way, this was like the #1 trending story at the time that we got on the air.
Because it's a nice. It might not be the way you would have turned it. You know. You would have sent the guy, yeah, and that's a fine response as well. You send someone over and go, "Excuse me, sir, you got to keep it down." Blah blah blah. Fine, but they went a different way with it.
Disagree. The nice story is, she takes the cup off the lid off the cup, and they fucking drag that guy's ass out of the or that too. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do some investigating.
She was fine.
If I find out that cup was empty and not filled with scalding hot coffee, then I'm really going to be upset, because you had a chance to hand her a fucking weapon and you just was like, send us a secret message. Blink twice if you're in trouble. Go fuck yourself. Just help me. Don't let me have to fucking ask for it.
Well, she was given the opportunity and she didn't need the help.
Yeah, because the other part of the story was innocent teen murdered in a Starbucks. What happened? Well, we were writing a message on the cup to get to her, and then he just fucking pulled out a knife and killed her. I
was trying to spell. Was it 2 F's in coffee? It's 2 F's. Coffee lid. These are lids. Yeah. Take off leave on the lid or take off the lid. No, we take off. We take off the lid if there's a problem. Now, what if this guy sees this message on the top of the lid? I think you're thinking too much about it. Just write it. Just write it. Just get it out there.
Should we stand behind him and be like, "Are you okay? Do you need us to?" No. That's too much. She might see it. Write it on a cup. And this whole idea, they came up with this story about like somebody left a hot chocolate. Would you like it? Like, what are you doing?
Eh?
What are you doing?
You know that meme of that guy that's Wait a minute. So we put on the lid and then we bring it. Now, do I bring it? Do we call her name? Anybody know her name?
Yeah.
What am I? Is she gonna drink this? We charge her for it, or?
By the way, how shitty is it to be like the big muscle bound employee at any job? That it's like
you're the muscle there. That's it.
That you're the guy. Like I'm so happy I'm 5'7". I'll never have this issue. I'm just saying, like, if you're in that situation where it's always like, oh, get Carl, like fucking Carl's 6 feet, he's got huge muscles, and he's like, oh, fucker, I just want to pour coffee. Why is every time somebody gets out of hand, I gotta fucking come over? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Carl was tired. You know what? Write a message on a cup. If she's really that fucking concerned, I'll come over. If not, don't bother me.
Is Carl coming in today? Did he send us a coffee message? If he sent us a coffee message, we can't bother him.
That's the interview I want to see. I want to see the Starbucks manager be like, we always go to Carl, but he's fed up. So now we've had to resort to this coffee message on the cup.
Carl sent us a cup of coffee with a message on it saying he couldn't come in today. He's sick. The lid was off, so we couldn't ask him to come in anymore.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's weird because I was at I took the kids to the an Islander game.
That is weird.
First time. Yeah, it was like I was like an actual dad. It was very strange. And so they at the end of the game, they're like, oh, you meet the mascot at this gate. So we go to take a picture. So this woman from the Islanders comes over to us and she goes, hey, I want to ask you about your experience here at the arena. And I said to her, and I was very honest, I said, actually, it was terrible. I spent the whole game fucking getting food for my kids. And my wife was like, that's not what she's asking. She wants to know about like the parking. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you should hang signs up that people shouldn't bring their children, is we don't get confused, so we could actually sit and enjoy the game. Anyway,
that's on you.
After we got past all that,
you should know that.
She's talking to us, and I was like, this one little thing is kind of, but I'm about to get into this whole thing about how wonderful we're just so thankful it's not the shithole we used to play in. And my wife is saying that basically the same thing. She's getting to the niceties before I can, because I was like, let me just tell you about this one complaint I have. I'm writing it down on a cup for you, and if you agree with me, take the lid off. But anyway, this nice young girl. I don't know if she was, what do they call those? The Islander ice girls or whatever. I forget. It looked like it was like an ice girl that they were like, hey, go around.
You don't have that calendar hanging in your room.
No, I don't. They were like, go around and ask the nice families what they think of the fucking place. Like that was kind of like her job. Like ask the people on the line waiting to see the mascot. This fucking drunk asshole comes over, and what did he even say to her? He started trying to talk to her. And then he put his hand like on her back, or on her, like come. Yeah. It was weird. And then she said this, by the way, this happened in, what would you say, D? 3.5 seconds. It was like a 3.5 second exchange. And she's like, don't touch me. She's like, do not touch me. And she starts like walking away from him. And then we looked at him and he was so shit-faced hammered. And then he had like two buddies come over and like get him and like pull him away.
Why didn't you just take care of it instead of waiting for her to say something?
Well, it happened so fucking quick.
Why didn't you jump in?
Fuck off. It was faster than the Starbucks situation that they saved the girl from.
You didn't have time to write a coffee note?
I didn't have time to write if that was me, this girl would have been dead. This girl would have been dead. But it was like the same kind of situation, and my wife went up, so then she goes and like tells like a supervisor, like, hey, this guy's fucking still like around. And he's like, he didn't look like he was going to do anything, but it was like somebody, like weren't sure if she told anybody. So my wife was like, there was like a supervisor looking person there. And she's like, let me go tell this person. She's like, oh no, we know. And they were getting like,
they were aware of the situation.
Yeah. They were getting like security in on it to like sweep this guy. Carl. They were getting Carl, I think, to come in.
You got to get Carl.
Yeah, Carl's the guy. Carl's the fucking guy. So anyway, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you take some action. You don't fucking. My wife sees something, say something. My wife didn't sit there and like, give me a coffee lid. See if I got.
Good job. And what were you doing through this whole thing?
Yeah, I didn't really do anything. My wife was kind of on the ball.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're ready in a Starbucks. You're ready to jump out behind a counter and remove a guy from the building. But out in the open, you know, when it really comes down to it, my wife has got this.
No, listen. It was a 3.5 second exchange.
You're a 3.5 second.
5 seconds to assess the situation, but I was like, this, you know, nobody's really under any danger here. This fucking guy's hammered off his ass. But it was just, it was like, I don't know. It was like, what did this guy? I guess he was drunk. It was drunk courage or whatever. But he was a disgusting looking guy, just shit faced off his ass, thinking, "Oh, I know, fucking Kimberly in the
this will work."
Yeah, this will work. What the fuck?
Has that ever worked in the history of anything?
Never.
Ever? Like Seinfeld's joke with the beeping the car horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
is the best idea we have. She's gonna kick off her heels and run after the car.
Hey, I noticed you honking.
Good thing you honked. I don't know how you felt about me.
Yeah. But I kind of was like, good for her. Like, she was very vocal. She was like, get away from me. I was like, good for her.
Love it. That's good.
Yeah, it was really good.
She probably deals with that crap. You know, she has to be out there in the public, drunk messes all day. I'm sure she deals with that crap.
She should be able to baseball bat him in the fucking face. That's what I feel like. I feel like there should be some sort of community court where we can just gavel in and be like, I just noticed this, and here's a bat, baseball bat him in the fucking face. Well, we'll hold him.
You know those little novelty bats?
Yeah.
They should all carry them. Just go every time someone reacts like that. It'll at least stun them and take them back a little bit, so the person won't.
Yeah.
It'll make them think twice. It won't be a death blow of a baseball bat, but it'll be a nice knot on the head.
You just want these people to get their comeuppance. That's basically it.
Agreed.
And when they get away with that shit, it's like awful. Fan feedback. I can't find this comment on the Jumpstart Coffee Company.
What good of you?
I'm useless. I'm basically useless.
God, you know, you only have 8 jobs to do. You think you'd get this one right?
Olivia, oh my goodness, guys, I was crying with laughter on the episode with the long discussion about what would happen if we got rid of all white guys. As a black person in the UK, I just love the way you talk about the strangest things. I can't believe I watch hours of your videos just for the giggles. More, please.
I can't believe it either.
I think we should have went farther on the what I would love. We should dedicate a whole episode to what would happen if we just got rid of all the white guys. I think that shit is an interesting.
We wouldn't have a show.
Well, we'd lose this show, but again, it might be a better place. But I think it would be a fun it's a fun topic to explore. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That is a fun ass topic.
Who was that? What was the name? What was the name on that comment? Olivia. Thank you, Olivia.
Olivia from the UK. We're killing it in the UK, by the way.
Love it. I got to go there.
We really should.
We should do the Anthony on Air crosses the pond episode.
So people keep asking me like when we're going to do like a live show somewhere, and I don't know. But I will say this. The first time we do go outside of New York, we will go to London. That's a promise. We'll go to the UK.
How could you promise that? What if we go to Jersey first?
Or Liverpool?
Can't promise we're going to go to
that's not outside
Europe.
Well, no, we'll never go to Jersey. It's a disgusting place to be. I will not be
fine
there.
But you can't say the next time we leave New York, it'll be Europe. That's a big jump.
I think that's good. All right, you're right. The next time we leave the United States, we'll go to Europe. Okay.
Even that.
Fuck you, Spain. We ain't coming.
Spain is part of Europe. You idiot.
Oh, I meant the UK.
Oh boy.
I meant to say the UK.
Okay. Good for you.
People are very skeptical about the video cameras being out at Jean-Luc Brunel's thing.
Every time someone commits suicide in these jails, the video cameras aren't working for some reason.
Yeah, it's amazing. What are these? What do they got? VHSs in these places? What's happening over there?
VHSs.
It's like we recorded on VHS. Unfortunately, all we have is beta players in the jail, so we can't.
Right. Can't play it back.
Can't play it back. Nicole, you're inching your way closer and closer to the right side of history, Anthony. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it.
I disagree.
I'm assuming that has something to do with my stand on vaccines and my latest love for Trump.
I think it's your shirt.
Well, that might be. It's a nice shirt, by the way, right?
That is a nice one.
ShopAnthonyOnAir.com.
Go get that stuff, baby.
There's been a media blackout on 2/22/22. That's interesting because that's
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And we haven't talked about that tomorrow. That the next day is 2/22/22.
It is. What's your point?
A lot of twos.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Don't say anything, Frank. I'm going to pass you the Starbucks cup, and you tell me, take the lid off if you think that that's a weird thing that's happening on 2/22/22.
I might leave the lid on. It's not weird, but it's cool. Something's going to happen. There's a media blackout.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, like we should not consume media on that day?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
All right.
Lynn, Frank is not offensive. He is fair. Just because he has an opinion, that is not why he is.
I'll take it.
It is Dutchy. Grandmother is English. Miss Chrissy is full of her importance. I had a very important job. I bet better than hers. Oh yeah, that was. Remember the girl who said you should go?
That I should go?
Yeah, remember I told you where she worked.
Oh, let her know.
Yeah.
When I'm gone, she'll come back and be a viewer.
So Lynn was taking on Christy.
Thank you, Lynn.
Or Chrissy and her thing.
You rock, Lynn.
Yeah.
She rocks. You stop it.
I like Chrissy's point. She's really thinking about getting ready. Jenny writes in, I'm with you, Aunt. Why hasn't Bill Clinton been called up to answer questions about his friendship with Epstein? And yes, Virginia Giuffre has done a great job bringing Prince Andrew up on charges, the French guy to jail. She's let Prince Andrew get away with so much. I feel he was so guilty, but she could have had him in court and proven he was guilty. No way we will ever know. When you think about it, whatchamacallit, Prince Andrew now has apologized for being friends with Epstein. Bill Gates has apologized for being friends with Epstein.
Right.
We have not heard an apology or any sort of reaction.
A lot of other people who are friends with him.
Out of Clinton.
Or Trump.
Or Trump.
Both friends with him.
Yeah. They've both had to answer those questions, but like a while ago. Like, I feel like in the 4 years since we've really learned a whole bunch of shit, we should be readdressing that topic with some of those people.
True. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
But who's going to do that?
I don't know
them on the show.
I don't know about you, but I plan on passing Bill Clinton a coffee cup with a question on it next time I see him.
Take the lid off if you apologize for being friends with Epstein.
Dear Bill, if you regret the Epstein friendship, take the lid off this coffee cup. Oh, let me call the New York Post. I got a fucking story. Oh my God, that woman on TikTok with the big mouth is eating at Crave It, a pizza and food joint in Bayside that I love because they're open till 2 a.m.
That is not far from us.
Listen to this, Frank. Almost nothing in Queens is open that late. And their pizzas and sandwiches are huge. Do you remember back in the day, we used to go out and places were open. We used to go and eat at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Bars and stuff. The last call was 4 a.m. and it still is, I think, in New York.
Yeah.
Diners are open 24 hours, obviously. But yeah, we used to be out all hours, different hours of the night.
Now nobody's open late.
What do you mean? Bars are open late. On a shit
night. How many times would you go, let's just go to Dunkin' Donuts, and you look at your watch and it's fucking 3:30 in the morning. You're like, yeah, let's go get a cup of coffee. It's fucking now they're all closing. They all close.
Dunkin' Donuts, the one by me doesn't close.
Oh, really?
24 hours.
There's a ton of them that are closed now.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Stop being dumb. Open up.
Paige writes in, I don't care if you agree with Frank or not. He has the funniest lines, and when he makes Anthony laugh, it's the absolute best. I laugh out loud too.
Thank you, Paige.
I'm going to slip Paige a Starbucks cup. Like, are you sure you're watching the right show?
So you know the cup. You have the coffee T-shirts, right? That we have in the shop.
Yes.
You should make one with the lid off and a message on it.
I'm gonna tell people, if you're having an issue, buy the shirt with the lid off, so we know.
You slip people the shirt and say, if you're not okay, put this shirt on. The coffee cup doesn't have a lid on it.
I like this from Tammy. Anthony, you're doing God's work. I think she means
nice.
putting up with you, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to check.
I'll take it. That's good.
Yeah. Alicia still believes Epstein is alive.
Okay. Good, I guess.
Pia thinks that Maxwell is not in jail. I did read another Hillary is dead thing.
Man, can make a conspiracy out of anything.
Yeah.
We should just come up with the most weirdest, wildest conspiracy. See if it catches fire anywhere, you know?
In response to the Jean-Luc Brunel podcast, 412 ATV writes, tread lightly, Anthony. I would hate to have to watch just Frank and Jay Saps.
Me too.
I might disappear. I might get disappeared, Frank.
Well, this will all be evidence then.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think that's it. We've run out of time for more.
Yeah, that's. I love fan feed. Keep it coming, guys. Get keep writing in the comments, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Write in the comments. We like to read all this stuff.
I'm so mad I can't find this fucking Jumpstart coffee review.
Well, you summarized it for us, right? It was very nice, and we enjoyed it. What was it? I don't remember what you said.
I thought I took a screenshot. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna
As
end
soon
the
as
show.
we end,
I'm gonna find it. Yeah.
Save it for the next one. It's evergreen. It sounds.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else?
I'm good over here.
Not even on a coffee cup.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't even do it on a coffee cup.
We're not supposed to. Well, that's why you put it on a coffee cup.
Don't. Thought you were about to say it. I panicked.
I'm not gonna say it.
Don't say it.
Can't. That's just for our viewing audiences, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Don't forget to go to the website. Get some shirts, mugs, and such. You should write on that. Let me know if you need help.
Take the top off.
All right, thanks everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode. AnthonyNair.com for all the links and info.